My name is Anugraha, and I'm a yoga teacher based in Amsterdam. I've been teaching for 15 years, practicing for maybe over 20, and there's nothing I love more than getting on my mat. What I have for you is a practice that's going to take you from one pose to another. I call it a Vinyasa flow. And why I say Vinyasa flow is because we're going to move a lot more than maybe a static yoga practice. We'll still hold. I promise you, I'll make you hold. I'll make you work. But it's just we're going to connect one pose to the next with movements, allowing your breath to lead the way. What I will also want to kind of bring into focus with this class is actually something that came to mind from one of my students in Amsterdam who came to me saying that her son, who's 17 and he's a musician, and over the last year, what she saw happening was his posture changing. She felt like he developed a droop, and she also noticed this with his other bandmates. And she says that they practice sometimes 4 to 6 hours a day. And what has happened is most of them have kind of developed a droop or maybe, the shoulder dropping off to one side. And this kind of happens with people playing an instrument because most musicians who play an instrument adopt kind of an asymmetrical pose. Like if you take a guitarist, one arm is doing something, the other is doing something else. The violinist, the same thing, one arm doing the same movement, the other one doing the exact same opposite maybe. A drummer might look like he's really symmetrical, but there's one foot forward constantly on that pedal, pushing into that pedal of the bass drum. Not sure there's any instrument that actually keeps you in symmetry. And over time, what happens is posturally, you start adopting that pose that you stay in so many hours a day. So what we're going to try and work with the class that I have planned for you is to work on, lifting into the chest, opening into those shoulders, playing with your breath, and also finding that stillness, finding that ease while you make that effort with your practice, finding that surrender while you're making that effort with your practice, and also allowing your breath to lead the way just so that you find that stillness, which is what a lot of us are always looking for, to find that calm within the storm. What a Vinyasa flow practice is a movement-based class with stillness. There are moments of stillness in it, but it's not about the postures that we're doing. It is about those transitions that we're making from one to another. It is about how your breath is going to lead the way. It is about how you land from one into the other with that effort and ease that we have been talking about. A Vinyasa flow practice it's not a new age modern practice. It's been there for years now. People do it in any way they want to. You find your spot in the flow we have today. If it's the first class you've ever done, you will enjoy it. And if you're an advanced practitioner who's been practicing for years, I promise you there'll be challenges for you too. So here's what I want you to remember while you practice. If you have an hour to do it, great. If you have just maybe 10 minutes or 15 or 12 or whatever little time you have, get on your mat, choose a part of the class that you want to do, and get those 12 minutes. 12 minutes on your mat is better than 0 minutes on your mat. Find the part of the class. Maybe you just want to do the sun salutations today. So be it. That's what you will do. What I'd also like you to remember is I'd rather have you practice with me instead of just watching the video. It's more fun that way. Let's start by taking a comfortable seat. And when I say comfortable seat is you can sit with one foot on top of the other calf, You can do a simple cross leg if it's accessible to you. If you feel sitting down is not the best way to start something that you're trying to work with, then maybe if you have a yoga block, you can prop yourself up on a yoga block, or maybe even a pillow or a couple of pillows, and just, put it under your hips, and so your hips are slightly elevated. Finding a comfortable seat, and I'm saying comfortable because you want to take a few moments here to kind of arrive onto your mat. So let's start with that comfortable seat. Hands wherever they are comfortable, on your knees, your thighs. You want to take them into a prayer pose. Just see what works for you today. Every day is a different day. What worked yesterday might not be what you need this morning or afternoon, depending on the time you're practicing.